Okay, so today on the workbench we have a Western Maryland 280. Today we are going to be showing how to put DCC into one of these. Now, these Bachmann Spectrum models, you can tell that they are the DCC ready versions because they will have leads, usually one or two plugs, going from the tender to, going from the engine to the tender. You can see the plug here. As for how to take apart this specific tender, super simple. This is the same tender. There's a screw on the bottom. Go ahead and unscrew that. It'll pop up. And then there's clips here on the bottom that will slide out. Ignore what you see here. This was my attempt to put a 9-pin in, and it did work. Unfortunately, the motor that goes to this tender, or the motor for the engine that went with that tender, was cooked. So could not continue using that one, sadly, which is why this one is here. And let's go ahead and keep on going. So, we have an 8-pin here, very simple, right? Okay, check all the wires and stuff, everything seems to be okay. Trucks have a good amount of wiggle room without being too loose. As for this, if you try to take this clip off here, the coal load actually comes out. So that is a thing. If we look here, you can see that there's a gap in the plastic right around here, which is good. That'll let our sound come out because we are doing a sound decoder. Now, you can see here that we have wires on that side, which means in theory that I should be able to fit the speaker, again, all in theory, should be able to say fit the speaker in like that. It's really the only way I see this happening. Don't know how well the sound is going to make it to that hole, but we'll find out. It's also firing right where the plug will be, so hopefully that'll let some sound out as well. Yeah, so let's go ahead. And these speakers are just temporary. I do have sugar cubes coming for these XL system decoders, but they are taking forever to show up, and I want my sound. So, go ahead, take that off. There we go. Okay, so that is in there. Now, we will take our 9-pin to 8-pin. I just take a gander here. I want to say in the other one I had tried to install it this way and I was wrong, so we're going to go ahead and try this way. So in theory, red and orange over on this side. In theory. If it didn't work, I will let you know, of course, as you are watching this to install a decoder into one of these. At least that's likely what you're doing anyway. Go ahead and line up your 9-pin. Alrighty, there we go. As for the decoder itself, I typically I like to... Some people like to fix them in place, some people like to keep them loose. What I like to do is try and do my best to keep it loose but isolated. So what we're going to do here, right, loose but isolated. Ideally, in theory, you want to fix your decoder down, that way it can't really move around too much. I like the forgiveness of it being a little loose around, so we're just going to take some electrical tape here. No sticky sides exposed, just wrap it, just put it over itself, basically. Do your best to manage the wires. These two we're going to cut a little like that. That way we can still strip them if we need to in the future. Yeah, put that in there. And then just go ahead and try and slide this in just to protect the decoder from the circuits below. And then just do your best to put it back together in a way that everything will work and be happy. Alrighty. Alright, gonna do some fitment testing, see if that worked. Alright, so I did have to move some stuff around. Also put a little bit more dividing tape in there, just to make sure, you know, there's no contact or anything with other stuff, because the last thing you want is traces touching each other where they shouldn't be. Just go ahead and reinstall your screw. Not too tight, of course. Alrighty, so in theory, gotta push that down if you're able to. Alrighty. There we go. Cool. So now, in theory, we should be able to take this thing over to test track. Trick for trying to get these connected here is to do your shorter one first. If there is a shorter one, you want to make sure they are in fact oriented correctly when you go to plug them in. Don't want to be sending voltages to the wrong wires. Now the small plug here, provided I can get it in, small plug is power pickup. And the big plug here is motor and headlight. Right. There we go. Let's go ahead and, if we can, again, be very careful during this process. Try and move that up. It does not seem like it wants to move up, so I'll have to fuss with that later. But then just go ahead, get your drawbar connected. And there you go. There is your steam engine. So let's take it over to the program track. Alright, so plugging in our power cab here for the test track. Seems we have a light. Go ahead and hit that a few times. It does indeed work. If you have a horn, or in this case a whistle, bell, we have reverse. We do have forwards as well, it looks like. It did couple up, so let's go ahead and fix that. There we go. We do indeed move. Alrighty, there we go. Just show you the basics while we are here. We're going to hit this for NCE and hit program button until it says use program track. Going to hit enter. Going to hit 1 for standard. Okay, it's going to detect the manufacturer. The Dakota version. Going to hit yes. We are going to hit enter to skip over the short address. Going to press enter. Alright, now that we're on the long address, go ahead and put it down. In this case, it is 763. Press enter, then press 1. Alrighty. Now in theory, it should respond to 763. And it has. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Hope it showed you how to install a decoder into one of these mid-revision, I guess I would say, Bachmann Spectrum steam locomotives. We will see you in the next one. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments.